Alright, welcome back to another episode of Templar's Talks, number 34. And we're back with a new edition talking about festivals and albums and gossip and everything. So, yeah, I know. Occasionally we have to discuss stuff. Well, to be honest, I did not go to any shows since the last episode. I mean, I already kind of expected that. I had maybe for the Willemijn Café, but they were having a pop music band, and I have quite a lot of stuff to deal with at the moment. So I figured, nope, not this time. June will be a busy one, so I figured I'll take it easy. And then I think the best thing to do is to start talking a little bit about something June. And I don't think it's gonna be a surprise for many of our listeners, as we've been having this kind of tradition of writing something about Tuska Festival in Finland. And yes, again, this year, we will be there.
No, you will be there. We as Templars,
I mean, course, I speak about Templars always in the we form.
I know.
Yeah, so, I was thinking, let's have a look at the lineup, because, of course, always there's too much clashes. And I'm probably gonna put up a poll again, so people can already start to think about where you guys wanna send me to. Yeah.
I already know where I sent you. So.
I know you do. We will pass that one, but that's okay, because it's not really a clash, is it? So...
No.
Lucky. Okay, let's start with Friday. When the doors open, there is two options. I either go to see Horizon Ignited or Doll. Whatever they're at. Probably Tuska Live act. What's that? The cult act, I mean. People that volunteer for the festival can earn a spot to play in the smaller stage of Tuska. And that's their way to gather enough volunteers. So yeah, I don't know. I think probably going to Horizon Ignited. But that's always up to you, of course. Second clash is straight after that, and we have Handstand versus Blood Command.
Yeah.
Well,
I would say Handstand.
I would hope that people like me to go there, yes. But it's not completely fair, because Blood Command, I've wrote like some decade ago something about a couple of their shows, because they were for some reason crossing my path multiple times, and neither of these shows was very good. So, therefore, they're not my first choice, but then again, it's more than 10 years ago, so they probably improved as they made it also to Tuska. But then again, they only play around 3 o'clock, so not that much probably that they are in the main liners. So anyway, I leave it up to you people who are listening and following us on Instagram to decide whether it's Handstand or Blood Command, but that's something I could already share. We have a little band called Call from the Abyss in a smaller stage, but that's not a clash, so probably gonna be there. Then I think...
Well, you know, if I take, I guess I like to say this, if I take a look at the whole running order, I really feel I should have been there this year as a second photographer and person, because I can already explain, I think, and we haven't gone over the running order, but I think there's so many bands that you and I will have a different taste.
Yeah.
But we will find out. But if I see it, it would have been nice to be there so we can cover more.
Yeah.
But
Tuska is quite hard to do with one person, but it's also they're limiting press, international press a bit. So that's one thing that's to say. There, if you're Finnish, then you're in a bit better position than when you're international. That's for sure. But that's okay, they're always welcoming to me, and last year they already said, oh, see you next year, so I felt quite confident that I had to be there this year.
Nice.
Yeah. Alright, we have some Knocked Loose on the main stage. I have actually no clue whether I would like to see that, but I have nothing else at that time, so probably I'll be there.
I would go there.
Falling from Grace again in the small venue. I might not see all the smaller bands, even if I can, because there are so many bands nowadays that I also need to take it easy for myself a little bit more when I'm on my own. Especially since
maybe you can take one of those, one of the steps. How do you call them in English?
The scooters. Yeah, that you go.
Yeah, you should take one from the city center and take a scooter to go from one stage to the other stage. Like make it Tempelora scooter.
Yeah, well, from the main stage to the club stage is doable, especially when it's that early. So it's doable, but like, it's not only the running around; it's more like taking a breather. And I also like to see a little bit more than the 3 songs every once in a while, So sometimes you just want to see a bit more. Makes writing a review also a lot easier, because when I mean, let's take this example for Knocked Loose. They play at 4:15 till 5:15. Falling from Grace is playing in a small stage from 4:30 till 5. So I would basically get in there, take a couple shots, like 3 songs, and then I move out, see the rest of Knocked Loose. Yeah, so it's a bit like back and forth. Yeah, it depends a little bit. I think the first day I'm usually still quite energetic, so I might do it. But in the end, that's why I'm not covering everything that I can anymore. There's enough to cover, and it's okay. Next battle, Skint versus Dragon Force. Dragon Force.
I was going to say, is that a battle or?
Technically, yes, but for me, I have a very strong opinion. Then again, there's also a lot of people who are fans of Dragon Force, so I can imagine there will be quite some listeners that really like them, and versus the other band that's like, I don't know, less of a name, even though they're playing at the same stage and Skint is having a bit of a bigger stage, so to say. Which surprised me. I would have done it the other way around, but that's okay. Finnish listeners might have a different taste than the rest of the world, possible. So, yeah, people, think, what do you want to send me to? And I will not send any vibes out for Skint at all. But it's just a slight little hint that Dragon Force,
it's not much.
I don't hate Dragon Force, absolutely not. But photographing them, even though many people think different, to me is very boring, because they're quite posing for pictures, and that's like no challenge. So that's why I'm a bit like, oh no, make me work for it, baby. Yeah, I'm like that. Straight after that, we have another band in the club stage, but there's Cradle of Filth versus Enemies Everywhere. Well, do I even have to ask people? Of course I'm gonna go to Cradle of Filth. I interviewed Danny Thulf on their recent album. And it was quite a score for our YouTube channel. Quite a lot of people, I think over 5k, went to watch that video. Whereas many other interviews with Cradle of Filth in my feed have like way and way less viewers. So I guess that's our Templars crowd is kind of into Cradle of Filth. we got some traction from that.
Well, I saw them a couple of months ago, and they were actually very good.
They're
live.
always good, aren't they?
Better than I've seen them before.
I liked their Into the Grave show also.
Yeah.
Was it 1 year or 2 years ago? I think 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Can't remember. Oh yeah, with the sun. Yeah, I remember because I had this photo and he was like having his hand in front of the blocking his eyes in front of the sun, but the lighting from the stage was like bright pink.
Yeah.
So I had to think of the Spice Girls with Stop Right There.
Stop right now. Yeah.
And I posted it online, and he reshared it with the song. It was so fun.
Cool.
So yeah, that was Into the Grave. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
like the British humor, like.
True. I have a growing admiration for Cradle of Filth's career and what they are doing. I think I already explained that when I talked about the interview. I never cared too much for this band because I didn't like what they were standing for, and at least the people that were following them. But I guess nowadays I think I can only appreciate everything they've done. So for me, that's a no-brainer, and I might not even put it up for a question because what's the point?
Well, you don't have to put everything.
No,
up for
of course
question,
not. But yeah. The next one I'm curious about, though. There's this Bambi Thug versus Marco Hitala. Yeah. That's like two completely different acts.
Totally different.
I photographed Marco Hitala a lot at Tuska. Every year he's there with...
Yeah, and you like her. You like him very, very much. So
Really? That's new? No.
Yeah? No? You said
No,
that.
I appreciate what he does, but he does good shows. Although I think most of the songs are, especially from his own solo work, are a bit too... I don't know, I wouldn't say boring, but maybe too calm for me. And he sings a lot of Finnish, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Finnish festival. Why would anyone speak Finnish?
No, but more like that doesn't necessarily mean that I want to listen to it. If you have like singer-songwriter kind of material, it's really, the lyrics are really a thing, and if you can't really follow it that well, it's... Yeah. But I like how he performs. I mean, obviously, he has a lot of dedicated fans, and Baby Thug, therefore, is quite up and coming.
Yeah, that's a new thing, right? She's getting quite large and everywhere. I think.
So, let me know what you think.
I've seen talking from a photographer's perspective. What I've seen, like the images from Baby Thug, it's really worth going there. I think she will have a nice show with lots going on, and Marco is just Marco.
I think I could literally take any picture from Marco Hitala from my past and add it as if I was there at that show set, because it's I don't know. He's not the most energetic on stage with this project, at least. So I don't know. We're gonna ask the listener, but I think that I can already expect that people want me to go to Bambi Thug. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Bambi Thug is a quite young metal-ish, pop-ish, vibe-ish thing. So I don't know if our audience is...
Well, if
knows?
I look at statistics, for example, from the YouTube channel, the age group from 25 to what is it, 35 or something is the highest. The one from 18 to 25 or so, I think that's the group before that. That's the second largest. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah. True. So we'll see. Then we have Turantu in the small club stage. I'm not sure. I might pass. I mean, I've seen them before. They're very energetic. Kind of like it, but on the other hand, I also know that for their show, the club stages were gonna be so goddamn crowded. And they only play like 15 minutes after the other two start, so that means I will not have the best option to get my photos taken there. So I might skip it, because I don't always feel like going to the crowds, taking the space of somebody who's queuing to get in, because that place is gonna be full, and then it's gonna be one out, one in, you know. So then you're basically going in front of other people, and I'm like, no, that's not nice. I prefer to avoid that by either showing up early or skip. Then, Electric Callboy on the main. I'm running out of excuses to miss that one, but it might be a very good time to have dinner. What? I need to eat too?
Yeah.
I mean,
after you photograph them.
why? No, 8 o'clock is late already. 8:15 their start. Do you know that I usually eat around 6?
I know, we're done.
Yeah, so, like...
Cradle of Filth.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think that, well...
Dinner. Okay. Well, I'm not...
I might go.
I never photographed them either, and it's... I don't know.
That hyper thing is just not for me.
Yeah.
No. But let's see. I might just pop in for a little bit if I feel like it. Because once again, quite many of you might actually like it. Maybe I should, instead of like put it up as a battle, like Electric Callboy, and then on the other option, dinner.
Food. Dinner.
Let's see how nice people are to me.
Should Shabina get dinner or not? Or maybe you should be in the audience. With one hand you have a burger, and one hand you have your camera, and you can like take a bite and take a photo, and take a bite and take a photo.
I don't know.
If it gets 50-50, you know, you can... Sorry.
One that I have a bit more issues to choose from is Tarja versus Imminence. For some reason, I never photographed Tarja. Never. In the past more than 20 years, I've never photographed her. I don't even know how that happened. Like, why? Why didn't I never photograph her?
I have never photographed her either.
Yeah, but Imminence is kind of nice, so...
Yeah. I would choose that one.
Yeah, I think I want to choose that one too, but... Tarja is on the smaller outdoor stage, which is also quite nice if you want to photograph there around that time, so... And usually she has a nice... I know some people who play in the orchestra that she takes along, so... Yeah.
I thought he quit, no.
Yeah, but I know multiple people. Maybe I can take one song from Tarja and then run to Imminence.
Run to the other one. Yeah. I would do Imminence because Tarja is, in my opinion, a little bit the same as Marco. They probably join each other's set anyway as well.
Yeah, that's very likely that they will end up doing a song together in either one of their shows. They're also on the same stage. So.
And Imminence, I like the fact that they have a violin and it's little... Yeah, I don't know. But maybe it's also because I don't like I'm not a big fan of both of their singing.
Yeah.
In the way they do. It's not that I don't... Yeah, well, it's not my thing. It's not
I think for me, thinking if I photograph her here now, I can get away with 3 songs. And if I have to go to one of her concerts to photograph, then I'm stuck the whole show.
But do you have to photograph every band and every person? No.
No, but like, I kind of like to photograph Tarja someday. Well, anyway, Well,
Okay,
we'll ask
well-
the audience. Let's do it.
People have to
Yeah.
vote then. Yeah.
And then In Flames versus the small band Intrepid in the
Is that a question?
That's what you say, but more often than once it happened that when I put it up for the vote, that the majority of the people vote for the band in the small stage versus the headliner. So I'm like, okay.
But that's why I should have been there, so you can go to the Intrepid and I can go to see In
Yeah,
Flames.
but I might see In Flames earlier in the season. We'll see.
Oh yeah.
If
but-
the gods align with my other job, so to say. Yeah, then I already have.
I won't make it
And
there either.
to be honest, I love In Flames for the music, but photographing is for me a bit. Nah.
Yeah, okay. If you've done that, it's
Yeah.
been there, done
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Yeah.
All right.
And actually, I don't know. I've never heard of Intrepid.
Yeah. Or
So I don't know what to expect
me neither.
and what it is.
I'm also a bit surprised because so far there's no after shows announced yet.
1 week before.
Probably that's not all the first time that could happen, but I think that also has to do with whether the festival is sold out or not. When they announced that, I think maybe some tickets are still available. Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, the 3-day tickets are on yellow instead of green, and all the other ones are still on green. So I guess there's still some tickets to get. I would recommend people to actually go because this lineup is pretty okay. Yeah. Let's go and look at the Saturday because Saturday, okay, yeah, that's some of them are very obvious for me. Then the first clash is Ivar versus Arion, and I go to Ivar. I'm not even gonna argue about it. I don't necessarily like the music so much, but I happen to know some person behind Ivar.
Yeah.
We've known for quite a while, only digitally. We've been writing a lot back and forth. So yeah, I would like to watch that. Because I wanted to
I
go.
think I would have gone there
I
too.
wanted to go to the other. Was it in Tivoli or so? But I couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it.
No, I think in Tilburg in the smaller club thing.
No, I think they also played in Utrecht in the Tivoli.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe at multiple shows here. I don't know. Also, I think also indeed in Tilburg.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I was thinking about Tilburg and you were thinking about Utrecht, and then we both didn't win.
Yeah. No, but
Because
I
that's
think
how it.
I think I
sometimes-
actually had another show on that day, so that probably was the reason for that. But I'm gonna see them now.
But I do like Arion though.
Yeah.
But it's yeah.
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 I do like that. I think this is maybe the first time that they're not playing on the smaller stage on Tuska, because we've seen them on Tuska several times before. I think they were always on the smaller stage, so I think it's cool for them to sort of grow into a larger
Finally
stage.
grow. Yeah.
Well, Timo Rautainen is next. Might pop by briefly. We'll see. Not stick around too long because I'm not a big fan. The second clash of the day is Charlotte Wessels versus Windrose. Well, guess where I'm going.
I think food. I mean, I will run into Windrose twice.
Yeah.
I'm only doing like 2 festivals and a 1-day thingy with a couple of bands, but I run into Windrose twice, and it's not my cup of tea. But also Charlotte Wessels is also not my cup of tea.
No, indeed. But I do like.
But she's
It's
Dutch.
it's actually her solo. I never seen her solo projects, and I like.
It's not. It's definitely not bad.
I think it's definitely not that what we were used from her. So like, she takes a bit different route.
and the thing
I like
is-
that.
Yeah. She has her own. How do you say it? Vibe influence.
Yeah.
over it. And I have to say, I think Delane, when she played in Delane, she was the female vocalist. I have to say, from all of those bands in the same category, I actually liked Delane best because she has a little bit more
Poppy.
She wasn't too symphonic. She had a little bit more balls, and she still has that. So actually,
I think Charlotte is going to be the winner for this one.
Yeah, and I will run into Windrose twice, and you will see them as well once. So they will be covered on Templars, I think.
Yeah, so we'll just safely skip them. What I do look forward to is Mokoma, but there's no Clash for that, so yay.
Yes.
Then we have this Jaluka versus Cemetery Skyline. I think Cemetery Skyline will have a very crowded photo pit because internationally, musically, I think we talked about their album. It's a bit so-so.
We know your opinion.
So it's not bad, but I don't know. It's not that I don't like the music, but I kind of don't think it's the hype, worth the hype so much. So the audience can here decide, which means that I probably end up at Cemetery Skyline. Let's be honest about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what Jaluka is.
I have no idea.
Finnish or is it international or is it?
I can't remember if I haven't even checked that out so much.
Oh, my mouse is dead. Where is it?
Mouse is dead. Wait.
Jaluka.
Yeah. Wait, I can.
Patronaat. They play in Patronaat. What is it?
What?
Jaluka and Nini. Oh, they're a Japanese band. Deathcore, gothic metal, and electronic elements. Maybe
It could be fun.
Could be fun.
Oh yeah, I look at the picture now.
Oh yeah, that could be.
I'll have to give them music a listen, but in the end, we know that the audience is probably going to send me to Cemetery Skyline.
I don't know.
I'm quite sure.
Possibly.
I'm quite sure that the audience is going to send me there. Orbit Culture.
Maybe they will surprise you.
Orbit Culture
yes,
versus
like
Countless Goodbyes.
Goodbyes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I like to be in the smaller stage this time.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like something I would like to see. Also because I've seen Orbit Culture before, and they, although they're nice, but I don't think that they're jumping out that much to me. So, not sure. Yeah, then Alcest versus Insomnium.
Yeah. Difficult decision.
Yeah, because neither of them are very energetic to photograph. Both of them are very nice music-wise. Melancholic.
Both atmospheric.
Yeah. But I think I might go for Alcest, actually. Because they tend a little bit more towards the black metal era. So I think I like that a bit more than Insomnium. And I've seen Insomnium countless times. And Alcest fewer amount of times. Still quite a bit, but...
I will hope to see them in the beginning of June, the first time actually.
Cool. So
I would choose Alcest too, just because we've seen Insomnium so many times.
Yeah. Okay, then Slaughter to Prevail sounds like a very good time to have dinner again, but we'll see about that.
Yeah. I know it's not your thing.
Yeah, then.
I quite liked it.
Yeah, it's okay, but for me, it doesn't. The show doesn't warrant the hype to me, and then I'm kind of pig-headed. I kind of make my own decisions. But let's be honest. I'm quite of a workaholic, so I probably pop into the pit anyway. Well. We all know it's true, so...
Yeah. I know.
Then we have 3 bands that are in a relatively short time span. Royal Sorrow in the smaller stage, the Halo Effect in the outdoor smaller stage, and then in the tent there's the Throne. I don't know.
I would go to Throne, but
I don't know. I've not seen the Halo Effect yet, and I mean, it makes sense that they play there because Cemetery Skyline is in the same stage, so that's logistically very convenient for Tuska to arrange it this way.
The singer. But not the rest of the
No,
band.
but
So.
you know how that works, right?
And the singer doesn't have a lot to carry with him, the microphone.
No, but
and his in-ears. I mean.
you know how that works, right? You know how that goes.
Yeah. Wristbands for the musicians and bars and backstage areas.
Yeah. So I might actually. I have to choose, but let's see what the audience wants me to go to. I can predict that the Halo Effect will probably be the winner, but let's see. You might surprise me. And the last two bands are Powerwolf and Sepulchral Curse.
Yeah. I would go to the tent, to the club, the cult stage, because
we will see.
Powerwolf.
We will see Powerwolf 2 weeks before that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do like Powerwolf from all these crazy bands the most, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. And
yeah. I mean, if I've seen them the two weeks before, I might choose the other one. But then again, I don't want to skip on all the headliners.
I'm not sure
if I'm not seeing
the other one.
Yeah.
But the other one is like a very, what is it? Very death metal.
Yeah. So shit.
Black metal. I'm not sure how they are on the stage and if they're kind of interesting to photograph or are they like standing in the dark.
It's gonna be a challenge. No, not dark. More like a lot of dark red, stroboscopic kind of.
Strobo. Yeah. Smoky.
So we'll see.
And Powerwolf, it's nice.
Yeah.
They deliver a good show, but you see them 2 weeks before, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll ask the audience, but then again, I'm in the end the final judge of where I go. I usually listen. I usually listen to what you guys have to say, but you also never know what the circumstances are in the festival itself. Sometimes when there's a headliner, like an American headliner, very often they kind of limit photographers, and then if you're from Finland, then you're making a chance, but never any international photographers get drawn from the so-called... It's funny, they always say like, yeah, we showed all the portfolios and then the manager made a decision, but it's never international ones, never. It's only Finnish people who get in there. So I kind of also heard via that the international people don't even get shown to the actual decision maker, so to say.
Strange.
I don't know, it's not up to me to decide on that, but it's something I noticed and something I've kind of... anonymously asked about a little bit here and there, using my network, and then I figured out that international people often don't get shown to the decision maker for who's gonna be photographing that band. So I think for Powerwolf that'd be fine because they love photos. But every time in history I still remember some relative of one of the band members being into the grave pit, handing out business cards, like, oh, I am so excited!
Yeah, like so nice!
I'm with the band, and we love the photograph. I was like, holy shit, girl! Yeah. But...
Well, I can imagine they were
attitude.
Back then. They were attracting.
They were headlining too.
Yeah, but they were not as a big name as they are right now, and they were just attracting
press,
fame, so to say.
Press.
They were.
No, but I liked it.
So I can understand her
Yeah, true.
enthusiasm.
I admire also the attitude a bit more than like what some other bands have. But hey, we'll see what happens. We have to figure out what's going on the day of the festival itself. Usually you don't get to hear that in advance, and then they might come up with a lot of contracts, because I think one time for not a Canadian band, if I remember correctly.
But I don't think Powerwolf
No,
will
I don't
have
think
contracts.
so. I don't think so either. But sometimes the headliners have that. I think one time I got a contract in front of me, and I was like, "Yep, no, I'm not gonna sign that.
No.
I don't care." I mean, I'm not that desperate to shoot certain bands, so no, that's no, not gonna do that. It is what it is. If it's not happening, then well, there's always Sepulchral Curse that I can go to. Yeah.
Well, the Sunday.
Yeah. Oh, and of course,
If we are still alive.
I'm always there. And the first,
I know.
last year, it was super crowded for the first bands, and people were jumping and going crazy. So, but then again,
But there are 3 bands
Yeah.
at the same time.
also they start at 2:30 in the afternoon. So I think most people have been waking up quite reasonable time for that to see them. It's not that early after all. There's Cyan Kicks, Havan Kroon, and Ashes in the Fall. While the middle one I kind of rule out straight away, because I think I've seen them before, and I think it's not interesting for me to photograph them, to be honest. Cyan Kicks I photographed here in Arnhem quite recently. I think, what was it? Maybe 3 or 4 podcasts ago, something like that.
I remember,
Yeah,
yes.
I love to photograph them. They're jumping around a lot, very active. Then again, that might be too much to actually photograph in a festival, because that then you don't have. You have to run around a lot to get the right shot for that. But I think I might choose that. But then again, it's up also what the listener wants. Ashes in the Fall also sounds very interesting, to be honest. So yeah, we'll see about that. Turmion Kaitilot, of course, we cannot miss out. Seen them like 700 times. I've been on the when they played on the main stage a couple of years ago. I've been watching it from the side. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be fun to see them again.
Yes.
And there's nothing else. There's no Clash. So, but then again, that's a hard one. Kim Dracula versus Korpiklani. It's been ages since I've seen Korpiklani.
Me too. I think the last time was in Utrecht. A long time ago. In the Helling,
Yeah,
actually.
I'm not.
No, in the harbor one.
Oh, okay. Well, I think for me it might have been actually when I was still living in Finland. I think, or maybe after that I've seen them in Tuska. In any case, I remember one very cool show in Tampere when I lived there. They sort of had a trial show right before the tour starts, and they never announce that show when they do that. So you kind of have to find out about it on the day itself. And it's in a small bar, like outside of the city center. We had to walk back to the city center after that to be able to get home. So,
well, the thing is with Korpiklani, they are always great fun. I think they build.
Yeah, but I remember seeing them at
It's a festival. It's a good festival band, and I have never heard of Kim Dracula. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, but it's one of those up and coming things, So for me, it's a bit like I want to see both. Why can we not kick out like one of the other bands?
Oh, it's a she. Interesting as well, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Interesting
Interesting what the audience will vote.
Yeah, I kind of want to see both of them. So I might either, if I shoot one band, I might gonna look at the other one too.
Yeah.
All right. After that, we have Apocalyptica with No Clash. So gonna see that. The next clash that we run into is Whitechapel versus Nothing More. Yeah, Whitechapel versus Nothing More.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's not a clash.
Well, you've seen Nothing More, right? I don't think I've photographed Nothing More.
They are so cool.
Yeah, but Whitechapel is also quite nice. So not much to photograph, but to listen to, I like them.
Yeah. But Nothing More, I don't know. I have a love for Nothing More. It's not very metal. It's more like...
Yeah.
It's just good music. There's a very nice bass line. Sorry. The singer can sing amazing with his voice. He does different things. He's very entertaining and charismatic. Way more than Whitechapel.
Yeah.
Good light show, I have to say. They're on a small stage, I see, but they have an awesome light show. So I would vouch for Nothing More, but it's not up to me.
Well, obviously you're gonna vote.
Yes.
Well, the next band I will completely go to in your honors. So if I'm gonna see Nothing More, I probably won't stick around too long, because then I think I probably want to be there on time so I can see your band on time. Octoploid, and they're probably gonna gather quite some people there. So I might try to get into that stage right away. And that means then I have to wait for like half an hour or so in the front row to...
But you can call me.
I'll try. But it also means that Motionless in White I might have to skip.
Yeah.
Well...
But then you have to see Polaris.
Yeah, oh wait. Well, Motionless in White is also at 7-ish, so that would be okay. Then after Octoploid, I might have a little bit of time to eat.
Yeah. Wow.
And meet people, because usually I meet a bunch of people around this time on the Sunday. Some people from the music business. We are usually gathered around that time, for some reason.
And then you're talking with a band and people backstage, and then your friend is getting angry because you're not coming out to see the headliner because they return.
No, this is not backstage. This is just... the people I usually meet up around this time are organizing shows in Finland or write on other magazines. Usually around that time we gather and have a little chat about stuff. And then I get asked to be in other festivals during the Finnish season. Let's see what my wallet says this year. But yeah, next of that is a 3-band clash. Polaris, Battle Beast, and the Advantages. Polaris.
My vote is Polaris.
I don't know. I kind of want to see Battle Beast also. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what the audience say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Battle Beast is Finnish. I think we also have a lot of Finnish listeners.
Oh.
Still.
Yeah, we do.
Because we happen to talk about Finnish bands. But yeah, Polaris, I saw them. They were awesome. I very much liked them.
What?
So.
Yeah, but for looking at what the other bands are that we would possibly end up, Battle Beast might be a bit of a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Lorna Shore is headlining. And yeah, that's typically one of those bands that I expect that they will have some restrictions. which is fine
Yeah.
with me because there's still one band in the small club stage that I could be going to. And then it's also very nice if you can like end things a bit earlier on the Sunday, so you can like gather your stuff, see if there's any after parties, which are not announced yet. I'm keeping my eyes on the rock schedule, but nothing on there so far. And of course, I can cheat and ask around a little bit, but I'll just see what comes up. I know that on the Thursday before Tuska, Leverage is gonna have their record release show. So maybe I'll jump in there. We'll have to see what things are going to be like. Who knows? And otherwise, yeah. I might rest and fly home early, something like that. Yeah, that concludes basically our clashes talk of Tuska. So, I don't know, closer to the date, I will post up the polls for voting. So you guys can help us to decide where I need to go. And yeah, that's that. Wow, that was a whole long story. We've been talking like 45 minutes about this. But I guess it's Tuska, so yeah. Tuska is always one of our favorites. And also one of your favorites, if we look at the numbers.
Yes, still.
Yeah, but look at the numbers. I always know that Tuska scores also amongst our readers and listeners and followers. So.
Yeah, I thought you meant me, but you meant the audience. Sorry.
But of course, you too. Good. We've been listening to an album too, so we do have to say a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, did you?
Yeah. I did.
Good, because I'm quite curious. Think about it. The band we chose makes gothic metal, and they're such a sad name in the scene that they released their album number 17. Yeah, 17. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, 30 years of...
And they've kind of pioneered for the genre. I think they're maybe not super cliche into that gothic sound that we nowadays put up to the genre. But yeah, Crematory also kind of have a bit of a background of melodic death. So that's maybe what makes him a little bit different. Then they also have a little bit of electro in there, here and there. They've done it quite a lot through the years. And when I was thinking about the different albums that they created through the years and how every album is kind of different from the previous one, but also stays very much in line with what they've done before, I had to think of Moonspell, who's also kind of one of those bands who does that. Musically, it's not like you connect them that strongly right away.
No.
But just the way they've navigate through their career, I think, yeah, they definitely have something in common there. Alright, that album is called Destination, and I think it's out since, what was it? It's out in May.
The 16th or something?
Yeah, I think the date I had was rescheduled to a later date, probably because of issues with the venues, like pretty much every band has at the moment. So I don't know what the reason is, but that's just what I think it is. Anyway, it's either out already or it's gonna be out soon. Crematory. Yeah, what did you think of this album then?
Yeah. Not a bad album, but also not something I really would love. Just they would fall in a nice category. They have some, like you said, I think the album has, it's a bit of a mixture of everything they did. They have some German songs on it. They have some a little bit more industrial songs. They have a little bit more doom-like songs. But my general opinion about the album is it does sound a little bit the same. Mm-hmm. Especially halfway through. Yeah. I don't know. And then the second song, I missed a very nice bass line. It was missing in my opinion. I don't know. There was just a sort of silence that I thought it would be perfect to be here. And they covered Type of Negative song, of course. It's nice.
I kind of liked that one.
Standing out.
Well, it was definitely not standing out, but I kind of liked their version of it. I've heard worse versions of it. Let's say it like that.
Yeah. But to me, the whole album is nice, but not standing out.
Yeah, exactly. That's my opinion too. It's really a nice album.
I'm also not a lover of this genre that much. So I'm not the best to ask, I think. I think it's much more in your lane.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not been a heavy listener of Crematory ever, but I mean, of course, I've come across them quite a bit during the years. They're quite a legendary for with everything they've done through the years. Can you imagine that this band is like being around for 34 years and this is album number 17? That makes for an average of one album every 2 years, consistent. Mm-hmm. Whoa. There's not a whole lot of bands who do that. And I think if you have that many albums, it makes sense that at some point you come to a very distinct structure of building your songs, which makes that they're very recognizable for the fans and also for people who've been kind of followed a little bit on the side. So that makes sense. What I do like with them is that they seem to have taken care of the production very well. They seem to have really taken their time to balance everything. You might like more bass, but in I think for the genre, it's done quite well.
That one song. I wasn't talking about the whole album, okay?
Yeah. But I personally, I didn't like that they have that German song like in the middle of it. Like, it's song 3, is it? Yeah, song 3.
Yeah.
Of course, makes sense that they have the German band. Yeah, sure. But I mean, for me, I would have liked to see that one at the end with the other German song. Keep it there apart. Yeah, it is. I think. I don't know. I think it is one of those albums that you need to listen a couple more times also, and also, I think if this album makes a lot more sense if you know the discography of the band a little bit, like from where they've come from and where they're heading to.
Which is definitely not me.
Yeah, but we had one album that you was more your thing last week, so
yeah.
I think altogether it was a good album. It's not like the best album they've made, definitely not, but definitely a good one to listen for the fans. I think the fans will enjoy it. And if you ask me like which one will be the next single, because sometimes you just know if you listen to an album like these are the singles they're going to pick. Yeah, maybe I wouldn't pick. It doesn't matter to me that much, just not the German songs, but that's just me. No. So yeah, I think even though we're having a different view on this kind of music, I think we still are much agreeing on in the main lines on this album.
Yes.
Crematory, Destination, out on Roar, Raining Phoenix Music kind of label. This month, so check it out. And they will be on tour this month, also in Germany. I don't know if they're having any plans to go across the border. Maybe and they do that in autumn. I think they will. But for now, that's not announced as far as I am aware.
Yeah.
That was that. Crematory. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, now go to the news or news / kinda section of our podcast. Gossip. Because we always like to gossip. No, we don't have that much, actually. What came out as a thing to me this week was that Azalea Dying is having a tour announced. I don't even know if that guy actually has a band again. I think with his name, eventually we'll find enough idiots that can hold a guitar and play some drums that will join the opportunity to tour abroad.
That sounds really, really bad.
Well, I mean, having your entire band quit after that and the whole history of this band, I think it's actually still quite nice from what we know now, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Which respectable musician still wants to go with somebody who's been convicted for having a hitman hired on his ex-wife, and then is apparently is abusive to his current wife, kicks a dog. Why would you want to be associated to that kind of person if you're already far in your career? I think that's going to be for the up-and-coming who are desperate to go on the roads, to be honest.
Yeah.
This is not...
But he will be there with the band, so...
I mean, I'm all up for giving people a second chance to learn from their mistakes, but that there's quite a lot of mistakes after the first mistake. So learning isn't really a thing there, so yeah. We'll see what happens. They've been announced also for the Netherlands, I think. Was it in Groningen, maybe? Something, I don't know. I wouldn't even book the band anymore, but okay. I guess there are still people who want to see them. And it's up for the fans to decide whether they deserve another chance or that they think, let's just cancel it by not buying any tickets and not going to the show. So, yeah. Alright, what else did we have? I saw something about this ex-Hatebreed guy that left, or actually got fired. I don't remember what was completely behind it. I know that he said that there were lawyers involved, so...
Was it a drummer?
I think that's future drama that we will kind of hear and talk about in future. Because I don't remember seeing the whole reason about that. Then, towards a bit more positive news and less gossipy, then I have to say that I've been hearing about that Pinkpop Festival in the Netherlands opened their archives from video footage that they've been taking through the years, like shows from the 90s from like Deftones, Rammstein, Rage Against the Machine.
Back then there were
yeah, but
cool, all those bands that don't exist anymore, or someone died,
Queens
or
of the Stone Age, The Verve, The Offspring, Counting Crows, all that stuff is going to be online. I think in the YouTube channel of Pinkpop Archives. But I think it's really cool that you can actually look back at those concerts, like Rage Against the Machine from 1993. Like, that's pretty cool. I think they had Rammstein at 97. Fate No More. Well, Fate No More is playing every other year on Pinkpop, I think. So I expect that more is gonna come up from that.
I think I've been twice to Pinkpop.
Yeah, I think 2 or
have no clue which
I
year.
think
I've seen Audio Slave.
Yeah,
there.
I think 2 or 3 times I was in Pink Pop. I think one year I was at the same as you were, but I don't think we actually met up there.
Met.
Did you see Apocalyptica there? Yeah, then we were at the same, but I don't think we actually were meeting up there. We were probably at different sides of the tent.
I remember it was the year with Faithless, and we were dancing
You
on
told
the,
that story
on the field with Faithless.
Yeah.
And then the guy from Apocalyptica, they were standing next to us like, yeah, hi, woo.
I remember I got interviewed by 3 for 12, I think. I was standing on the front row, and I remember I had this one guy went along with me who kind of decided.
Oh, on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah, I was on television, and I haven't really publicly made it because if you see me at the concert, you can spot me in the front row, and there's this guy who's like almost turning his back almost to the band and like hanging on to me, and I'm just there standing like, oh, leave me alone. I want to watch the band. How young was I back then? Damn, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Yeah, Pink Pop has, I think, a lot of music fans from the Netherlands have at least once been to Pink Pop or so. So it's cool to see this archive
must have been
coming alive.
Yeah. Fun. Yeah,
A
definitely.
lot of cool live shows from back in the days. Let me quickly check on what they have on their channel. No Effects from 1998. I see some more Rammstein. Limp Bizkit, Soundgarden.
Soundgarden.
Also some pop acts, but no need to mention those. Some more Rammstein, some The Police. Wow, The Police from live at Pink Pop in 1978. Wow. Can you imagine that they've been videoing all these shows and now they're bringing them out for people to watch? Like,
yeah.
In this case, it was one song that they released, but there's also full concerts that they've released. And the iconic show from Anouk where she was just with her bra.
Ah.
Yep, that's also on there. That one apparently got live 4 weeks ago, and it is something like 19k views already. I think if people find out about it, it will soon grow to a little more views because those things. One interesting channel to subscribe to, I think, if you like music. So I really wanted to share that with all of you. Did you find any news? Because you are much more on the interwebs than me.
I wasn't actually.
Oh, really? Well,
I had 2 very busy weeks. I was actually thinking it was only a week past. So, no, I've been busy with other things. But I have listened to new music, actually.
Cool. Let me hear about that.
Well, actually, I listen to music, not only new things, also a little bit of Catatonia and...
Graveyard.
No graveyard this
What?
time. No.
2
I
weeks
put in Amorphis
2
again.
weeks without graveyards? What?
Yes.
Okay.
But I've listened to Before the Dawn, Coheed and Cambria, a little bit more grunge as well from that era.
Cool.
But also 2 new things, I said so. So let's start with a Finnish one. Lost Society. These guys, they've brought out a new single. Dead people scare me, but the living make me sick.
Okay. Okay. Quite a title.
Yeah, and if you know them, I think they build further on what they've been doing the last album.
Okay.
But I have to say, it's really, it has a really catchy vibe. It's one of those songs that stick to your brain. And for one reason, and you know, I don't know why my brain was thinking this, but I had to think of Marilyn Manson and the Beautiful People. That just bloop, came up in my mind. There's something about the one line in the chorus that kind of maybe gave me a little bit of a vibe of the Beautiful People. It doesn't sound like it at all, but I don't know. I have to think about it. I think it's a very great song. It's not very... It's more like the modern metal rap mosh pity kind of song. But I have to say I kind of like it very much.
I'm curious.
But I have a sort of a I like Lost Society.
Yeah,
so.
of course. We
have a little
they're
like cute little.
They're a bit of Templar's darlings.
We've seen them. Yes, exactly. And then something completely different, Cataclysm.
Ah, okay.
They released a single, 2 songs, and they're standing on their own, what I believe, although I think they were... I'm not sure if they say they were... There's no talk about the album, I believe. But they released The Rabbit Hole.
Okay.
It's a great song. And it features, and now it's kind of funny, Clement Weyers from Karag Angren.
Yeah.
So a little bit of Dutch vibe there.
I've seen that. But that guy is active at the moment because I've seen him doing more features.
Yes, he was doing the sound effects and the atmospheric thing with his... but it's a really great song. I quite like it.
Can't wait for their album.
So I would... Yeah, that one is coming out. And they're also doing a show in July.
In Tivoli, right?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I would love to make it there, but... live.
Yeah, we'll have to see how life looks like in July, but... it might be that...
Yeah, life is a little bit... weird at the moment, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Karag Angren, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I think I've saw them in Be Below, of course. Where else?
Yeah.
In the past.
Yeah, I think both of us did there.
Yeah. And then Cataclysm, check it out. Lost Society, check their song out. And that was my kind of been listening to.
Cool. Well, I've been mainly listening to some albums that I was reviewing. I've been listening to their Heralds, some heavy metal formation from Germany who made this album with a comic book.
The comic book.
Yeah. I've been listening also to Ancient Bards. That album landed on my doormat, literally, so kind of had to pick that up. I've seen Ancient Bards, I think, 2 or 3 times live. And I stopped liking it immediately after seeing this very disinterested kind of attitude of their singer at some point. Like, I don't know, she was standing with the hands in the pockets. I was just thinking, like, okay, what the hell? But I think they eventually changed for someone else, but in any case, I listened to the album. Quite nice. It's quite well done for if you're into that genre. So people could definitely check it out. Some more info on the Templar's website, where my full review is available. Then I've been listening to Fat Bastard, which is a bit kind of Motorhead rock metal kind of sound, like very stereotypical. Crazy, I guess. I've been listening to this Belgian band called Solivuja, some death metal that I still have to review. Then, not too much actually. like I said, I have some crazy weeks and some other things to take care of at the moment. So, yeah, trying to keep it easy and slow down a little bit before the crazy June starts. So that's it for me. I've of course listened to all the other regulars that are in my car. Do I really need to list them? No, nothing special that I haven't mentioned a gazillion times before. But yeah, I'm looking forward to all the festivals that are coming up and the new bands we have to discover.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, hanging out together again into the grave.
Yes, I'm looking forward.
Yeah. We've been practicing some pit dances.
Yes, we have to do that.
Yeah. Well, what was I thinking earlier? Like,
it's your annual thing, you know?
what was it? I was thinking earlier, I was listening to something and I was thinking that might be the origin of our pit dances, but I can't remember what it was now. Huh. I guess it will come to mind.
I remember Fintel.
Yeah, but no, I don't think that was the first one.
But that wasn't the first, but it was a good
Yeah.
one.
Defo. I don't know, it crossed my mind earlier this week and now I've completely lost it again. So.
It's curious to know what was the first that we were...
Yeah.
Oh, wasn't it South of a lot from the south?
Yeah, indeed, that was because I was talking about soulfly. You're right. That's the origin of our pit dances.
That was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, because I was looking for the pictures to post them on the Instagram.
Yeah,
so that's probably why it crossed my mind and thinking that must be the origin of the pit dances. So.
I think so,
Although
yeah.
the dancing there didn't happen in the photo pit, but outside of the photo pit.
No, before the barrier.
Yeah.
But first row, because there wasn't a lot of people.
Yeah.
And picked up by the what
Max,
was it? Guitarist, bass player. Oh.
Max. Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome moment, yes.
All right, that's that. Nothing else to mention at this point.
Nope.
So yeah, hopefully next time we have something more to tell you about our festival season. We'll see about that.
Yeah, well, next time we're still counting down, I think, or not?
I'm not sure because next time I might record this on another day, but I'm not sure.
Oh, you might be on a festival.
Either on a festival or I have to work. Because we have a very different kind of... yeah, so it depends a little bit how the work gods are, whether I can go and visit the festival or whether I have to work. And that also includes the Sunday, unfortunately.
Oh, God.
And yes, I know that is a public holiday. I know. But it is what it is. So we'll have to see.
Oh.
But in any case, I think we can safely say that we have to find a different recording date for that one.
Yeah.
But maybe I already have a festival to talk about, and otherwise we are very eager for and hyped for the Into the Grave.
Yeah, maybe I go see something on that Friday.
Ah, cool. Yeah.
At the same place where your festival
Oh,
will
you
be.
go. If only I knew, I could have put you on the list. Because I was literally asked, oh, I have another, you can also add somebody else to the list if you want. And I was like, yeah, nobody in my crew is available.
Yeah, only the Friday,
Yeah,
not the
but
Saturday and
you
Sunday.
could actually put that up.
But it's been there. It's there. It's...
Oh well. In any case, because I didn't go for the Friday show because it's not my thing. And I will see it on Saturday in any case. But But we'll see. We have the whole thing to talk about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit sad. I can't make it on the Saturday and the Sunday, but that's what I said about life.
Life sucks.
Sucks at sometimes.
Yeah.
And will continue to be like that for the rest of the year, probably.
We'll see. In any case, that's it for today's episode. Like and subscribe as you done.
Give us some love.
If you're still listening to this, I will put up
thank you so much.
Podimo link in our description on YouTube, because if you sign up for a free account on Podimo and you use our link, we get some money, which helps us a lot in getting something to drink during all these festivals. So
to keep us running around.
It would be nice if you guys
Catch
use
more bands.
our link to sign up. That would be really, really nice. What you get for that is a month trial premium account for Podimo, where you can listen to podcasts, audiobooks, exclusive podcasts, because Podimo also has a lot of exclusive Podimos that you can podcasts that you can only listen to on Podimo.
Yeah, so it's a trial, so you can end it before.
At the end of the month, you can choose if you want to continue it, and then you have to pay, or you can choose also for the free account, which you can still use to listen to our podcast. And I must say, I listen to all my podcasts via Podimo, because their app is pretty good, better than Spotify or any other app that I've been using to listen to podcasts. So personally, I listen to my podcast via Podimo. Of course, YouTube is also pretty good, but sometimes it's not convenient if you want to listen to it via your phone. And that's how I often listen to my podcasts, when I'm at work or on the move. So then I use my phone to listen to a podcast. And then I would really recommend the Podimo account. So check the description in our YouTube, or actually, just in description. We will probably get the link also in the other platforms description. There you can use that and sign up for the free accounts, and you will help us a little bit, and you will also help yourself for podcasts. Now that was the late podcast advertisement. And now I will let you guys go. Time to say goodbye. Bye.
Bye.